But that's not what we're seeing on the ground here in Del Rio. Just today alone, we've already seen a ton of activity, just like what we saw yesterday. And just this week alone, Border Patrol is reporting that here in Del Rio, they've apprehended more than 5,000 migrants already. Let's pull up some video we shot here earlier this morning from right where we're standing right now on the banks of the Rio Grande. This was a very large group of migrants that decided to cross the Rio earlier this morning around 10:30 a.m. when the water was much lower and it was much safer. This ended up being a group of 45 Venezuelans and 1 Colombian. And you'll likely see in the video they had some small children with them, a couple of infants. They just presented themselves to local law enforcement here. They weren't trying to hide, just gave themselves up and had a chance to talk to some of them. Most of them were saying they fear the government in Venezuela. They've got family already here in the United States, so they wanted to come here and they wanted to take the risk. Some of them came through Colombia, then flew to Mexico, then took a bus up here. But this isn't the only area where this is happening. It's a big border. Let's take a look at some video from our Fox drone team down in the Rio Grande Valley. This is down in La Joya, Texas. This video shot by the Fox drone team earlier this morning of another large group of migrants being apprehended by Border Patrol after they came across the border. It was about a group of 30 or so, and from what we've been told, this was a group of migrants from the Triangle countries, the El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala. So that's south of us. And then I want to show you this map right here, if we can pull this up. This is the Border Patrol sector that's to the north of where we are right now. This is the Big Bend sector, and it is a huge one, 165,000 square miles. It covers 77 Texas counties, the entire state of Oklahoma, but Border Patrol only has 600 agents to patrol that entire sector, and they've been seeing a huge spike in apprehensions. If we can pull up some video from the Big Bend sector, we'll talk about that, because listen to these numbers. In March of last year, March of 2020, Big Bend sector only apprehended about 3,000 people. Fast forward the clock to this year, March of 2021, that 3,000 has now gone to over 14,000. That is a 365% increase year over year. You talk to the Border Patrol officials down there, they say if they can't get a grip on this soon, consequences will be felt all over the place. Take a listen.
If we're not able to do that effectively, then we also understand that there may be more drugs, narcotics, other bad things happening that affect not only the folks on the southwest border, but every city and town across the U.S. All this stuff ends up in every town USA.
And again, you talk to local law enforcement and some federal Border Patrol folks out here on the ground in Del Rio. Many of them heard Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas' comments on Friday that the border is, quote, closed. And many of the officials we talk with on the ground here take issue with those comments. One telling us just a couple of hours ago, if this is closed, I don't want to see what open is.